Okay, so we're wrapping up our third full week, and we're going to start to dive into strength training. Hopefully by now you've got some awareness around what we've been doing, your habits, movement, finding ways to fit some of these things in. That is the hardest part. What we're going to go over next, once you have that capacity in your schedule, once you have that mindset, this all gets a lot easier, which is why we don't just dive right into this. But we're going to do 3 different days of workouts. I'm going to cover one today, and I'm just going to give you the basics for not how to necessarily do these movements, but more how this flow should look, how it works, and we'll start there. So for today, we have 3 different movements. So for your first workout, if this is what you're doing, you would spend 5, maybe even 10 minutes to warm up. Get loose, dynamic warm up. Don't stretch, do dynamic warm ups. Things where you're moving, things where you are lubricating the joints. Tons and tons of ways you can do that, but move, get the heart rate up a little bit. And then we're going to get into the heart of the workout, which is very simple. It's 3 different movements. We're going to do them together as one set. So I have a squat, an overhead press in a row. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll show this to you later. And what this would look like is we would do 1 set for each movement, and then we'd move on to the next set of the next movement, and then followed by the third, and then we'll take a longer break. So whatever equipment you have, I've got a few things here, sandbag, kettlebell, barbell, they all work. I will say this, if you don't have these movements mastered from a body weight standpoint, if you can't do a body weight squat, don't even think about adding weight. Really get comfortable in your squat, in your pressing. Feel good doing these things without any load before you worry about adding extra resistance. But for the squat, so here we're going to go. So this is what it would look like. We're going to do 5 sets total of each of these, and we're going to, again, do them in order. So I'm going to do 5 squats. You can hold these. This is just what I happen to grab. You can use whatever you want. Sorry, we're going to do 8 to 12 squats of our first set. Once we finish that, take 20, 30 seconds, whatever you need. And then we're going to go into an overhead press. I will say this, if you're overhead pressing, please don't have your arms out here. There's no need to. You can definitely, there's nothing wrong with it, but your shoulder will be in a lot better position here. You can load your lat a lot more efficiently. So this giant muscle here underneath my arm, when I'm pulling this weight down, I can actually load that, and it acts as a spring to push that weight back up. So I like to keep my elbows in, 45, 90, almost 70, 80 degrees, but keep them in close to the body. And they can come out a little bit as you go up, but don't start out here. You don't need to press that way. It's going to put the shoulder in a much more compromised position, and there's no need to do it. So I've done my overhead presses, and now I'm going to go into my set of rows. I'm going to do 8 to 12 rows. Once I'm done that, I've now done 1 set, 1 round of each of these. I want you to take about a 1 to 2 minute break. If you're beginning, these weights should be fairly light, so it might not feel like it's that effortful, and that's okay. Still take the rest, 1 to 2 minutes. As you get into heavier and heavier sets of this, when you really are dialed in, you absolutely are going to want to take probably 2 to 3 minutes. Let everything recover before you go back at it again. So I've done 1 round. Now I'm going to go start back at the top. I'm going to go back to my squats. So again, we're going to do 8 to 12 reps of squats. Once I finish that, take a short pause, whatever you need, 20, 30 seconds. Go into your presses. Do 8 to 12 on each side. And then you can do your rows after that. If you're doing double arm, great. You can also do single arm. Do your 8 to 12 reps, and then rest. That's 2 rounds. So we're going to complete that a total of 5 times. If you don't have enough time for 5, do 4 times. If it's feeling really difficult and challenging, do 3 complete rounds. Your goal will be to work up to where you can do 5 rounds of this, and this should not take more than, I would imagine 20 to 30 minutes. Even if you throw a little bit of warm up in there, you should still be able to get this in and out the door in 30 minutes. And the benefit of what we're doing, these are not super sexy exercises, but they are the fundamentals. These are compound movements. So as we do these, as we're squatting, as we're pressing, as we're pulling, we're using free weights. We're not using machines. So we're using our whole body to move these weights. When I bend over to row, When I squat, I'm using a lot of major muscles and I'm using tons and tons of stabilizing muscles throughout the body. So I'm getting a whole body workout. And that's why we do this way. If you want to get the most out of your time and not spend hours in the gym, total body movements, compound movements, full body workouts where we work upper and lower body in the same day are going to give you the most bang for your buck. And that's what we're programming here. So this is day one. You've got 3 movements, a squat, a press, and a row. Do that. Start light. Your goal will be to work your way up. If you can only do 8 reps now with what you have, your goal will be to work your way up to where you could do 10 to 12 reps. And by the time 12 gets pretty easy, then it's probably time to add some more weight. Or then we can think about maybe adding a more challenging variation. But that's how we're going to stack these things. As we start easy, let the body adapt, start to challenge a little bit more and more and more, and repeat that process over and over again. So this is day one. I will get back with another video here soon with day 2. If you have questions with your form, send me a video. I'm happy to look at it. There's tons of resources out there in terms of how to do these movements properly, way better than I could probably do. So use the resources we have available to us to make sure you're doing these things properly. If you're not sure what the positioning should be for something, check out a video. And if you're still not sure, reach out to me. I'll share with you. We can fine tune it and get it worked out. So if you have any other questions, let me know. That's the end of day 1's workout. And just go after it. Keep moving and enjoy the process. This is a lot of fun as you start to learn these things. All right, we'll see you guys here soon. Thank you.